Isaiah 14 explained, the fall of Lucifer and the rise of Yahweh's people. For Yahweh will have mercy on Yaakov, and will yet choose Yahshar'El, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Yaakov. And the people shall take them, and bring them to their place. And the house of Yahshar'El shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou were made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Yahweh hath broken the staff of the wicked, and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindered. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Elohim. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation, in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Isaiah 14 verses 1 through 15. Lesson titled, Helel, the Shining One brought low. Isaiah 14 verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? The term Helel is traditionally understood to refer to a shining one, or morning star. In Isaiah 14 verse 12, it is used metaphorically to describe the fall of a powerful figure, often interpreted as a reference to the king of Babylon. The imagery of a morning star suggests brightness and prominence, which is contrasted with the fall from grace or position. The name Helel comes from the Hebrew root halal, meaning to shine or to boast. The full phrase Helel ben Shahar literally translates to shining one, son of the dawn, or morning star, son of the morning. This poetic title emphasizes brilliance, a position of great visibility, perhaps like a star or royal figure. Rising influence, connected with the morning, the start of a day, or the rise of a king. Glory and pride, suggesting exaltation, fame, or self-importance. In the ancient world, particularly among Babylonians, Canaanites, and other Semitic cultures, the morning star, which we know as the planet Venus, was symbolically powerful. It appeared briefly in the sky just before the sun, shining brightly, yet soon overshadowed. It was often associated with gods of light, war, or beauty, and kings would frequently identify themselves with celestial signs to claim divine favor or authority. Thus, Isaiah's use of this imagery is brilliantly ironic. The one who sought to rise above all others claiming divine likeness, is now brought low, humiliated, and forgotten. The king of Babylon, earthly power with cosmic pride. The immediate context of Isaiah 14 is a taunt against the king of Babylon, who had conquered nations, oppressed Yahweh's people, and elevated himself with pride. In verse 13 and 14, his boastful declarations reveal the heart of rebellion. I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Elohim. I will be like the Most High. This is not just political arrogance, it's spiritual rebellion. He is seeking to replace Yahweh, to usurp his throne. So Isaiah uses cosmic language to describe what is happening on an earthly stage, a king who believes himself divine, only to be cast down by the true sovereign, Yahweh of hosts. When the Hebrew scriptures were translated into Latin, the Vulgate, the term Helel was rendered as Lucifer, which literally means light bearer or morning star. This Latin term was used not as a proper name, but as a descriptive title. However, over time, especially in early Christian interpretation and man-made traditions, this verse was understood to have a double meaning, not just about a king, but also about a spiritual being behind the scenes. Thus, Lucifer became associated with the fall name of Satan, Luke 10, verse 18. I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven, Revelation 12, verse 9. That old serpent, called the devil and Satan, was cast out into the earth. Whether we focus on the king of Babylon as the primary subject, or see in the passage a shadow of Satan, the message remains deeply relevant. Number 1, pride leads to destruction. Just like Helel, Lucifer, anyone who exalts themselves above Yahweh's will ultimately be humbled. Yahweh alone is sovereign, and he shares his glory with no other. Isaiah 42, verse 8. 2. Earthly powers are temporary. Babylon, once a superpower, now lies in ruins. This reminds us that no empire or leader can stand forever, unless they align with Yahweh's righteousness. 3. Yahweh defends his people. The whole prophecy begins with a promise. Yahweh will have mercy on Yaakov. No matter how great the oppressor, Yahweh hears the cry of his people, and he will bring justice in due time. 4. Light belongs to the righteous. While Lucifer means light bearer, in contrast, Yeshua is the true morning star. Revelation 22, verse 16. And those who overcome will shine with him. Daniel 12, verse 3, Matthew 13, verse 43. Isaiah 14, verses 1 through 15 is a masterful blending of prophetic hope, restoration of Yahshar'El, political reality, judgment on Babylon, and spiritual revelation, the fall of prideful rebellion in both man and spirit. Yahweh exalts the humble and brings low the proud. He breaks the oppressor's staff and restores his chosen ones. And he alone is worthy of rising above the stars. Poem titled, Yahweh remembers Yaakov still, with mercy flowing from his will. He calls his own from distant lands to place them firm in promised hands. Strangers come, drawn to the light, to walk with Yahshar'El in right. Those once enslaved now stand above, ruling in justice, truth, and love. The yoke of sorrow is undone, the fear, the pain, at last it's gone. From chains and toil they now are free, in Yahweh's land, in victory. Then rises song, a taunting word, against the king whose wrath once stirred. The oppressor's staff is snapped in two, the golden city fades from view. Yahweh has crushed the tyrant's might, who struck the world with endless fright. The earth now rests, its voice is clear. The trees rejoice, no axe draws near. But from below, a stirring dread. The grave awakens all the dead. They rise to meet this fallen one, the mighty brought down, glory gone. They ask, are you now weak like we? The pomp, the pride, where can it be? The vile's song, now silence deep. With worms your robe in death's cold sleep. How art thou fallen, morning star, who thought to rise and reach so far? You said, above the clouds I'll go, upon the mount I'll take the throne. I shall ascend, be like the Most High. But now you're cast from out the sky, to Sheol's depths, to shadows grim. Your pride brought ruin, your light grew dim. Sermon titled, The Fall of the Proud, the Rise of the Redeemed. Brothers and sisters, we live in a world that often celebrates the proud and powerful, those who rise to fame, wealth, and influence, often at the expense of others. But Yahweh sees beyond the surface. He does not forget his people. He does not turn a blind eye to injustice. In Isaiah 14, we find a prophetic word of comfort for Yahshar'El and a declaration of judgment against the king of Babylon, a man who thought he could rise above Elohim himself. This passage is more than history. It's a spiritual blueprint of how Yahweh deals with the proud and lifts up the humble. It warns us, teaches us, and reveals the spiritual war behind earthly events. Point 1. Yahweh will have mercy on Yaakov. Isaiah 14 verses 1 through 3. For Yahweh will have mercy on Yaakov, and will yet choose Yahshar'El. Despite captivity and oppression, Yahweh promises restoration. His people will be gathered back to their land, and those who once ruled over them will serve them. This is not just about political reversal, it's about divine justice. Yahweh's people will find rest from fear, sorrow, and hard bondage. No matter how long the night of suffering, Yahweh is not finished with his people. His mercy restores, repositions, and revives. Don't let current trials make you forget the future promise. Point 2. The fall of the proud and arrogant. Isaiah 14 verses 4 through 11. How has the oppressor ceased? Yahweh has broken the staff of the wicked. Isaiah taunts the king of Babylon, who once ruled in wrath and pride. His downfall causes the earth to rejoice. Even the trees are at peace. The mighty king is now mocked by the dead, lying in the grave covered in worms. His violence, arrogance, and false sense of divinity have all led to destruction. Historical insight. Babylon's kings, like many rulers of ancient times, associated themselves with the gods, with the stars, and celestial glory. They thought no one could touch them, but Yahweh brought them low. The power structures of this world may seem untouchable, but Yahweh humbles the proud. Don't chase Babylon's pride. Choose the path of humility and righteousness. Point 3. Helel, a warning wrapped in a cosmic picture. Isaiah 14 verses 12 through 15. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Helel, son of the morning? The Hebrew name Helel means shining one or morning star. It reflects great glory, beauty, and influence, but also great pride. This figure tried to ascend to heaven, to place his throne above the stars, to be like the Most High. Yahweh cast him down to the depths of the pit, hell itself. Dual prophecy. This passage refers to the king of Babylon, but also hints at the spiritual rebellion of Satan. The same spirit of pride was seen in both. Helel became Lucifer, the light bearer, who lost his light through rebellion. In contrast, Yeshua is the true morning star, Revelation 22 verse 16, who brings light through obedience. Are you trying to shine in your own strength, or are you reflecting Yahweh's glory? Pride will always lead to a fall, but humility before Yahweh leads to exaltation in due time. James 4 verse 10. Family, This passage gives us a clear choice. Number 1. Will you be part of the restored Yahshar'El who walk in covenant, patience, and faith? 2. Or will you be like Babylon and Helel, shining in pride for a season, only to be cast down in shame? Remember, the Hebrew word Helel was translated to Lucifer. Therefore, Lucifer is an adjective that describes the king of Babylon's prideful behavior, rather than a noun which is a person, place, or thing. Yahweh is still breaking the staff of the wicked. He is still giving rest to the weary, and he is still bringing down the high places of pride. If you are burdened, Yahweh says, I will give you rest. If you've been mistreated, he says, you will rule with me. If you are tempted by pride, Yahweh warns, pride goes before destruction. Choose today to reflect the light of Yeshua, not the false light of Lucifer. Let Yahweh lift you up as you humble yourself before him. My prayer: keep us low, that you may lift us up. Abba Yahweh, most high and most merciful, we come before you with reverence and awe, recognizing that you alone are sovereign over heaven and earth. You raise up kings and tear down empires. You remember the lowly and humble the proud. You have not forgotten your people, Yaakov, and you will yet choose Yahshar'El. In your mercy, you restore the broken, gather the scattered, and give rest to those who have labored under sorrow and oppression. Father, we see in your word how you dealt with Babylon and its king, how you shattered the rod of the wicked and brought down the one who thought to ascend above the stars of Elohim. You exposed the pride that sought to rival your throne and cast it down to the depths of the pit. Let us learn from this. Search our hearts today. Reveal any pride hidden within us. If there is any part of us that desires to shine apart from you, humble us swiftly. Let our light not be like Lucifer's, false, self-exalting, and fleeting, but make us reflections of your true light, the light of Yeshua, the bright and morning star. We declare today that we do not desire the glory of Babylon, nor the throne of self, but the peace of your presence, the joy of your mercy, and the rest that comes from walking in your ways. Clothe us in humility, strengthen us in obedience, and teach us to serve you and your people with clean hands and pure hearts. Let us be counted among those you gather. Let us not be found with the fallen, and may we rejoice when your justice is revealed in all the earth. We submit ourselves under your mighty hand, Yahweh, that you may lift us up in your perfect time. And we give you all praise, all honor, and all esteem, now and forevermore. In the name of Yeshua, our Messiah. Amen.